Alright, so let's get one thing straight. This video is not which MacBook is the best on paper. We're not talking numbers, we're not talking internal specs. I'm mainly focused on what MacBook is best designed for you and your life. If you want all the numbers and stuff, other people make videos about that, you can go check them out. But if you're someone looking to invest in a MacBook but you're just not sure which one is for you, then you're in the right place. So earlier this week, Apple just announced its new MacBook Pro with the Touch Bar. So now the question is it worth putting forth the money to get that new MacBook, or can you settle with the other options? As always, all the links and all the resources you're gonna need are down in the description below. But first guys, if you're new here, thank you so much for watching, and we have a new video out every Tuesday and Friday, so if you are interested in video production, media production, whatever, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and you'll get notified every time a video comes out. Well, the first step in answering this question, what MacBook should you buy, is to determine what MacBooks are available. So we have the MacBook, the MacBook Pro, and then the new MacBook Pro with the Touch Bar. So if you haven't been keeping up too much, you might not know that Apple just announced that it's discontinuing the MacBook Air. So now the MacBook Pros without that Touch Bar, without the Touch ID, that will be taking the place of the Air. So let's dive into the three we talked about. First, we're going to talk about the MacBook, just MacBook, straight up MacBook. If I'm being perfectly honest with you, this MacBook is kind of tailored to a very small demographic. But who knows, you might be one of those people who meet this criteria. So are you someone who's more interested in the looks over the performance? Because let me tell you, this thing is quite the eye catcher. I mean, this laptop is so thin, like it almost doesn't even look like a laptop. But unfortunately, with that really thin design, you're losing some of the features and functionality in the ports that would come with that. It also comes in a lot of colors, and it is super thin. It's 2 pounds, and it comes in at the lightest MacBook to date. So if you're someone who's just going to run those basic apps like web browsing and office suites and productivity applications, then this MacBook will work for you. Just know that this laptop is not very CPU intensive. Also, if you are someone who says no ports, no problem, then this might be for you, because this MacBook only has one port, which means you can't go charge your iPad or your iPhone while you're charging your Mac, because it's got to be doing one or the other. You only have one port. But if that doesn't bother you and you don't need to hook up some sort of external monitor or anything, then it really shouldn't be a problem. Of course, you can get adapters and stuff like that, but honestly, this thing is already pretty pricey. This thing's starting at $1,299, which is fine if it has a lot of functionality, but honestly, there's not a ton you get with this. You get one port, it's not very CPU intensive, so you can't do anything really heavy with it. But if you are willing to sacrifice that money for the sexiness and the portability of this, then that's fine. So, who is this laptop great for? This is a great laptop for you if you are preferring looks over functionality, or if you're looking for something extremely portable, and if you're just intending on using basic apps like we talked about. This is fine for you if you say no ports, no problem, I don't really need all those ports, and if you have a very high budget. So that is the MacBook. So now let's talk about the MacBook Pro. Now we're going to talk about the one that took the place of the MacBook Air. So, is the MacBook Pro the one for you? Well, let me ask you, are you someone who does a lot of video editing, or 3D modeling, or photo editing? Do you work in Photoshop a lot? Do you need a computer that can handle those graphics-heavy applications? If so, then this might be the computer that you want. But also, if you are in this category, wait till I talk about the new MacBook Pro, because that might also be the one you want. Because quite honestly, if you are into graphic design or anything that requires a nice graphics card or a nice CPU, I really would not recommend going with the normal MacBook, because you'll save a little bit of money, but the money that you're saving really is not worth the frustration that you're gonna have. And in terms of portability, if you're okay with the size and the 1 pound weight difference than the other MacBook, then this MacBook is something to look into. I mean, considering the fact that it's, yeah, a little bit more heavy, but it's powerful enough to replace your desktop computer, and let me assure you, it's not as heavy as a desktop computer. The thing that I'm not a huge fan with, and I know I'll learn to accept it over time, is that Apple just narrowed this down to 2 ports, 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports, which is, I guess, fine, because you can add adapters that allow this to do a whole bunch of different things, but we're losing those MagSafe charging capabilities that we grew to love. I don't know why they got rid of that, but I don't know, that's just a personal opinion. So in all reality, the fact that you only get 2 ports really isn't a big deal because you could buy adapters, which I have in the links in the description below. I'm just a little butthurt about it because I use so many ports all the time, but that's just me. So this MacBook is great if you are looking for speed and reliability. If you are someone who has a regular to heavy usage of graphics applications, or if you're looking for something to replace that bulky desktop of yours. Or if you need a powerful computer, but you're not just ready enough yet to go up to the next level MacBook Pro because you have a little bit less of a budget. Or if you're thinking, I don't need all those ports to do the job that I need to do. Me personally, I like a lot of ports, but I know even some of my friends are not that concerned about the lack of ports because they just don't use them all. So that might be you as well. So last but not least, it's the very new MacBook Pro with Touch ID and the Touch Bar. I'm pretty freaking excited about this thing. So maybe you are someone who does a lot of 3D work, a lot of video editing work, and a lot of graphics heavy work. Quite frankly, if you are someone who says, I want to go fast, then this is the way to go. In fact, if you are a video editor, in terms of just video editing, Apple actually says that this computer is 76% faster than the old MacBooks, which is already pretty fast. Apple has really stepped up the game, taken this to a new level in terms of portability and productivity. They made their new MacBook Pro a little bit thinner, and with the new Touch Bar, if you are someone who is a creative person with a little bit of a higher budget, this thing is going to change the game for you. Unfortunately, this thing's starting price is $1,800, but the new Touch Bar gives you so many more capabilities. It's a tangible and quick way to do all the things that you do all the time. For example, painting in Photoshop, you can be changing the brush size with one hand while your other hand is actually doing the brush strokes. Also, this MacBook is stepping up their Thunderbolt game a little bit by adding in 4 Thunderbolt 3 ports instead of the other MacBook, which has 2. So if you're convinced that this new MacBook is the way to go, but you're not sure what size to get, the 13 or the 15, well, let me ask you, are you someone who needs a lot of screen real estate? Do you need a lot of windows open at the same time? Are you a video editor? Or do you see yourself doing something like this in the future? If so, quite honestly, I would make the investment because I have the 15-inch old MacBook Pro, and let me say, the 15 inches of real estate really is a game changer. I really love the screen size that I have. So, who is this MacBook designed for? Again, those people looking for speed and reliability, and if you're someone who uses regular to heavy usage of graphics applications. But here's where it's a little bit different. If you are looking to increase your productivity, or if you are someone like me who is in need of a little bit more ports. And this is great for you if you have a little bit of a higher budget. So hopefully you kind of fit into one of those categories a little bit more than the others. Guys, if you're new here, thank you so much for sticking around and watching this video. If you like this video, please go ahead and subscribe. We have a new video out on media creation and video creation every single Tuesday and Friday. Also, if this video helped you out at all, please go ahead and hit that like button. Here on Forge Media, we look to eliminate the obstacles while embracing your creativity. So if you find yourself to be a very creative person and you love creating videos and media, then this is the place to be. So I can't wait to see you in the next video.